So in this presentation, it's all about multi-views, but how to dimension them. So let's get started. Uh, Dimensioning guidelines. One, dimensions should not be duplicated or the same information given in two different ways. So this is rule number one. The one way I can show you is this 1 inch right here. Remember, this is the top view right here, and that's this view right here. They're trying to tell you that this is 1 inch this way, but they already told you that right here. Remember that this dimension is the same as that dimension. Same thing here. This 2 inch right here, this 2 inch right here is the same as that 2 inch right there. Okay, so it should look more like that. Nothing is duplicated. Once again, this 2 inch right here, this 2 inch line here is the same as this 2 inch line here. This 150 is the same as this 150, and this 0.75 is the same as that 0.75. They're almost lined up exactly as they should be. And you don't want to duplicate stuff. Don't give more information; it just gets really messy, and it's just hard to like cover the stuff properly, So it just gets really messy here. So do not. Rule number one: don't duplicate. Rule number two: no unnecessary dimensions should be used. Only those needed to produce and inspect the part. So here's some incorrect ones right there. Now, why is this an unnecessary dimension? Shouldn't they know that that's 0.5 right there? Like from this line to this line? They don't tell me here or here. But the answer is no, they don't. I don't need that. If you've told me that this is 2 inches here, and this is 0.75 and that's 0.75, then this has to be 0.5. I don't need you to tell me that. I can do a quick math problem in my head. Alright, so you don't need to give every single dimension. Even those dimensions that are like you can automatically figure them out anyway, so you don't need them. So that's rule number two. It's kind of similar to number one but different. And so you remove this, remove that, and yes, it doesn't say what that is, but you can see right away that this is 2 inches. That's a 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So this has to be a 1/2 inch. 3. Dimensions should be attached to the view that best shows the contour of that feature. Do you see this little bump right here? And this bump here, and this bump here? From the top view, you can hardly see them, right? You can hardly see them from the top view. The top view looks like a big rectangle with some lines on it. But you can clearly see these bumps. So if you're trying to tell me how wide these are, you should tell me, don't tell me there, the red part, tell me from here. Here I can see the dimensions better. So tell me, so dimensions should be attached to the view that best shows the contour. Whenever possible, avoid dimensioning to hidden lines and features. So where are they saying, what are they saying is incorrect? Oh, you guys see this little dotted line right here? There's a dotted line right there. And they're dimensioning that. What they're trying to show is from this view right here, this right side, that's this view here. This right view right here, that they're trying to follow this dotted line, and that dotted line represents back here, so it's hidden. So from this right view, you cannot see this back here, but they do still show it to you on a dotted line. And what they're saying is the height from here to here is 0.75. Don't show them there. Show it somewhere else. Okay, so where could they show it? Right there. So they're showing it right there. Next one. Avoid dimensioning over or through the object. What's that mean? So do not do this. Do you guys see this? They put 1 inch right here. Don't put it through the object or in the middle of it. Put it out here. See, out there. So don't put it right here if you want to look again. Don't put it here. Move it to the outside of the object if possible, okay? Look at the ones down there. Watch this. Let me go back real quick. Look at this one. They put all kinds down there. But they take them out, and you can take them out and put them there. That was rule number 5. Rule number 6. A dimension should be attached to only one view. For example, extension lines should not connect between two views. So right here they're saying, oh, it's 2 inches between this side and this side over here, and this 2 inch right here is connected to this and this. Never do that. Okay, It's 2 inches from here to here, or you can say it's 2 inches from here to here. That's the same thing. So this is incorrect, that red part. The same thing over there, down there. I didn't even see that one. So just dimension to the single one view at a time. Rule number 7. Whenever possible, locate dimensions between adjacent views. So do you guys see these dimensions right here? Over here on the outside? Is that between adjacent views? For example, is it right here or is it right here? So if it's possible, put the numbers here and put the numbers here. Do not put them outside if you can. So obviously right here, they could easily move this 1 inch over there. They could easily move these numbers over there, and these numbers right here, they could be moved up there. Okay? So these are all incorrect. Move them towards the center of the object if possible. So here, like between the views. So here's a view, here's a view, here's a view. Top, front, side view. Move them here, 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 but try to keep them from outside if you can. That was rule 7. Rule number 8, avoid crossing extension lines, but do not break them when they do cross. So avoid a lot of this. This looks like a graph, doesn't it? Look like a graph paper. There's so many lines crossing each other. So try not to do that. Okay? Whenever possible, avoid sending extension lines through objects. So do you see this 0.5 right here? It's saying it's 0.5 from the bottom to way down here, right there, right? Do you see this extension line that they wrote? That went through the object. Try not to do that. They could have drawn this number over on this side. So watch this. Look at the incorrect stuff. Do you guys see these lines that went through the object? Notice this line does not go through the object. This line does not. This line does not. This line does not. These lines do not go through the object, but these do. So you could have redrawn it like that and just kind of spaced the distances here, here, and here so that didn't happen. In general, a circle is dimensioned by its diameter. In general, a circle is dimensioned by its diameter and an arc by its radius. So, do you guys see this little arc right here? Let's see if I can go back. I'm trying to get rid of this dumb view thing right here. How do I get rid of that thing? There we go. There we go. So, if you look, the two green things on the bottom, the full circle, look at this full circle, more on the left. It says 0.5 through. That means a couple things. The circle with a line through it before the number, that means it's a diameter. That means the entire distance from one side of the circle to the other side of the circle is a ½ inch. The through just means it's cut all the way through. It's not like a certain depth. It's all the way through. And then arcs, the bottom right, if it's just an arc, it's not a full circle, it's always good practice to put the radius of that circle, not the diameter of that circle. So this arc right here does represent a circle, but we don't put the diameter of it. We always put the radius because it's not a complete circle. That's rule number 10. Rule number 11. Holes are located by their center lines, which may be extended and used as extension lines. So here's a line right here. It's a center line. It tells you exactly where the center of that circle is. And you need to dimension it, so you can totally go ahead and add and make those longer and then write what those values are so somebody can locate exactly where that center is. So this center is 1 inch from the left side and it's a ½ inch down from the top. Holes should be located and sized in the views that show the features as a circle. So, holes should be located and sized in the view that shows. Oh yeah, so that makes sense. So, incorrect. Do not tell me where the center of the hole is on this view. They did. So from the top view, this little slit, you see this slit right here? That's the top view. They try to tell me where the center of the circle is, and they're not wrong. That is 1 inch. It's from 1 inch from here to here. But you don't do that. always tell me from the face where I can see the circle better. Okay, so tell me from that face there. That's rule number 12. So don't show me from some weird side view of the circle. Show me directly from when you're facing the circle the dimensions of where that circle is. 13. Do not cross a dimension line with an extension line and avoid crossing dimensions. Okay, so this right here. Do you guys see this dimension lines and extension? So these are extension lines right here. You see these little thin lines right here? Those are extension lines. Extension line, extension line. Now these arrows right here, this arrow, this arrow, this arrow, those are dimension lines. Okay, they have arrows on them. So don't cross them if possible. Like if you don't have a choice, obviously you don't have a choice. But if you can, fix it so that they don't cross each other. You don't want extension lines passing other dimension lines and whatnot. And once again, these are extension lines. These lines here, they extend down to where you're talking about. So this one goes here. This one extends all the way to the center of the circle. But these are dimension lines, these little arrows. You don't want them crossing each other if possible. 14, I think we're getting close to the end here. Leader lines point towards the center of the feature and should not occur horizontally or vertically. So do you guys see this? This is a leader line. So it kind of points far away through the object, pointing to a circle. It's telling you what like the diameter of it is, right? Or if it's a radius. This particular one's a diameter. It's got the circle with a line through it, so that's a diameter. And it should be angled like that. Do not point straight like into one of these, what do you call these, extension lines. Do not point directly into an extension line. Point to the side of the circle like that. 15. Dimension numbers should be centered between arrowheads except when using stacked dimensions. So you should always have, for example, you guys see this number 1.5? It should always be in the center of the line. Okay, so notice that this number right here is in the center of my two extension lines. This value 1 inch is in the center of these two extension lines. This 0.5 is not because it doesn't fit. But the point is they're saying they should always be in the middle. Like this. This is in the middle, that's in the middle, that's in the middle. But they said you don't do that if they're stacking. So if they're stacking on top of each other like that, you don't want to do that. It looks really ugly and the numbers run together. So normally, yes, you want to put them in the middle. So like you see this line right here, you want to put it right in the middle. And this one right here, you want to put the number right in the middle. And this one right here, you want to put it right in the middle if it fits. But when they're stacked up against each other like that and they're lined up, you don't want to do that. So then you can go ahead and move them around a little bit, okay? And that's okay to do that. 16. Concentric circles are dimensioned in the longitudinal view whenever practical. Okay? So, incorrect. Correct. So if it's possible, say how big the circles are from these views if possible. So not from the other one. So don't do it from this view like that. Point to how wide those circles are, the diameters. Point to them using this method over here. And I think that's it. Slide, yeah, that's the last slide. So that concludes our video.